How we doing, everybody? It's September the 8th, and we got this fan's view here with myself, John, and Mario is here.
You're stuck with us.
Yep, and just to give everybody an update, Carl's doing well. He had surgery, and everything's going well with him. He's took a few steps the other day, so he's on the road to recovery here.
On the mend.
So he's being transported right now to his new location. So top secret location. So we that's why he's not here with us tonight. But best for him. And so we got football coming now. So who's ready for some football this year?
I know I'm ready for football.
Tomorrow it starts.
So who's playing tomorrow?
The Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
The who?
The Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
Unfortunately, I will be able to see that game because it's Tampa Bay.
You get blacked out?
No, I said unfortunately I will be able to see it.
Oh, you will. Okay. Well, it's a Thursday night game anyway. Everybody
Right.
gets to see it, so there is no.
Yeah, it's two teams I could care less about.
It should be interesting to see. We got everybody seems to be pumped up. We got fantasy footballs going. We are.
How many people we got so far, John?
We're pushing 65 people.
Wow.
My calculator is going to be working overtime
I
this
was
year.
going to say, I didn't think 65 people watch this show.
we have a broad band of people that watch.
Oh, absolutely.
And all across the country, so it's good.
Awesome.
So it's going good. We have the viewers are going to be playing Mario this week. So Mario's got his team ready, just waiting for the final tallies of the viewers' picks. We have 65 people in the pool, and we still have 3 ties. 3 ties out of the 14 positions right this moment for the vote. And so
wow.
I know we have at least 3 or 4 more people coming in to get us to that 65 number. So once those are all tallied up there, we'll be able to go from, see where we're at. Tickets are expensive there, Joe.
Yep, I think that's the cheapest they're going for right now.
Yeah, or the average. That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it should be a fun season this year. Hopefully our Eagles make it more fun for us as well. They announced their captains this week.
Yeah.
So there was not too many surprises. Just the one, Rodney McLeod, I guess, was the big surprise for me. But I guess he was the veteran of the group of the D-back. So Jalen Hurts. There's all obvious ones: Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Alex Singleton for the linebackers, and then also Rodney McLeod. So
okay,
it was a nice little group there of captains for us and for our young team. So to lead them on to a good year. It's going to be interesting to see. We got a new coaching staff, so we want it's like Christmas morning. We don't know what to expect. As far as.
So how many of our coaching staff are rookies?
Everybody.
I don't know if I like that.
Except for two guys. I mean, they've all been in the NFL before, but just not holding the position.
In their position. That's what I mean by rookies.
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually think that could go to our favor.
Well, that's what people were thinking early, until they get figured out as far as, and that's why they were a little bit coy themselves by not playing, many of the starters in preseason to
keep everybody guessing
what's going to happen.
Right.
So we'll see. You'll see that comes back to bite us too, because you're coming right onto a road game to start the season. It's going to be a little hard. They are low. They're Ryan, but this, like we've been saying all along, this is a season to evaluate what we got.
Right.
See how things go, because we see if Jalen Hurts is our guy, which hopefully he is. that'll set things up a lot nicer for us if he is.
Right.
And he seems to be taking all the right steps from the offseason. With guys being healthy, hopefully that offensive line helps him out.
I'm just curious to see what he's going to do with the people that he has.
Oh, yeah.
On the offense with him. Also, I want to give a little shout out to Ryan. He took some time out of putting his house back together to check in and watch the show.
He just got his cable back too, just in time.
That's right. Wow,
the Wi-Fi just got back, so
not having a good run of things right now.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Exactly. But yeah, so it. I think it's gonna be interesting to see. It's you're gonna be able to evaluate the coaching staff, evaluate the coach, the young wide receivers that we have, and then also the quarterback as well, and see where we go from here. So as long as we're progressing throughout the year, I'm not worried too much about the record, which is kind of weird for a football season that we're not worried.
So you're not expecting them to get to the postseason?
I don't this year. I mean, if they do, if they do, it's great.
Right.
I'm trying to be realistic and thinking probably 6 or 7 wins is probably what they're going to be at.
So this is a building year for you.
Well, of course you have to. It's your first year. It's your first year with basically a new staff and new everybody. You got your offensive line that's a veteran core, but your wide receivers are all young, especially if you're going to be Quez Watkins is going to try to step up, and Devontae Smith is a rookie. So you got a lot of young players there. You got to see what Miles Sanders is going to do. Whether Kenneth Gainwell is going to do what he's supposed to do and surprise people. So I mean, there's a lot of optimism for a better record at some point.
Ryan's predicting 8.
Yeah, I mean,
he's 8 and 9,
8 and 10.
8 and 10.
Sure, no, 8 and 9, 8 and 9. You're
right.
But yeah, it's just
my math was right.
Yeah. Long day. I've been doing too many numbers with fantasy football. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see. We got a new the defense coordinator is going to be interesting to see how he is. Everybody thinks he's going to be very, very good, and maybe a guy that maybe stolen away from us in a year or two from another team.
You think?
Well, as a head coach, that's what talks are being said that he's a guy that's probably on a fast track for a head coaching job at some point.
Well, do you think that at some point the Eagles would make it worth his while to stay? Now I know we're jumping way ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean it all depends. I mean it's kind of hard if they're doing well, then Sirianni's going to be the guy. You're not going to put him as a head coach. Maybe you can do like you did with Schwartz and make him the co-head coach with Peterson.
Right.
Maybe he stays, but I mean a lot of guys once they see that they have that ability or that job opportunity to be the big guy themselves, they're going to jump at it. So
did Peterson ever find a job? I forget.
He has not yet. He said he's taking the year off.
By choice or just because nobody wants
choice? Yeah, just to clear his head and get everything going. He's been out the Indianapolis training camp. He's been to the Bears training camp. So he's still staying active, but just going around meeting up with his buddies that have been coaching and seeing their training camps and trying to get some tips, I guess, for when he does make his return.
Right.
So
okay.
It's like I said, I think we I think six or 7 wins would be a nice thing to expect, because that's 50% better than you were last year with 4 wins.
So, all right, typical Eagles fan, how do you think they're going to sit with 6 wins for the season?
Well, I think we're pretty realistic that we're not expecting to be a Super Bowl team this year.
But you don't think they're going to want more wins?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be if you're playing well,
right,
and you see things are going in the right direction, 6 wins is going to be okay. Because you got a tough schedule. I mean, I don't, people want to dismiss it, and a lot of our easier games, so to speak, are all on the road, which makes it hard, to win in the NFL on the road. So even though they are, it's the Detroit Lions, we're going to win that game, or it's the Carolina Panthers, we expect to win that game. They're not going to be as easy as we think, just because of the fact that they're on the road. I mean, so and then all our games that are tough are at home, but they're against Super Bowl, playoff teams and Super Bowl champions, and so test the teams that have been through the playoffs and been on the road and won games. So it's going to make it a little bit, a little challenging, I guess, for that, and that's why, like I said, for me, just give us a. I don't even care if we win 4 games this year, to be honest with you, as long as
as play well.
Well, as long as we're playing well, and we see, which Sirianni's kind of shown so far, that he knows football, whether or not that translates to the field.
Right.
I don't think he's going to be overmatched as far as X's and O's. But he's got to learn how to manage the clock, and just all the game experiences that you're going to have to know how to come about with as you get to be a veteran, coach in the league. So.
I was waiting for that question.
Well, how can you play well? I mean, you just all you got to do is see. I mean, like I said, the schedule is tough. So I mean, you could start off like 0-6, 0-7. Realistically, if things go, unfortunately bad for us. But the Atlanta game this week that we're playing, it's on the road. It's not going to be an easy game.
So I guess what I would say is define what you mean by playing well and not winning.
Well, you're not having turnovers. You're not having stupid
penalties. Mistakes. Right.
And you just get beat by a better team that like you can just see, like it's just you kind of know it when you see it, and that would be the only thing I would complain about, is if you're making false starts, or bad penalties, holding penalties by the offensive line, or cheap shots by the defense that leads to it letting the game go on. But if you're not seeing those kind of plays, at least you're disciplined enough as a team to not give away games.
So let me ask you this, John: if they're playing well and they're still losing, what does that tell you?
Well, it's just telling you don't have the talent right now.
Okay.
And and that doesn't mean that, like a Devontae Smith, he's a rookie, so he has the talent, but you don't just jump right from the college pro game into the pros,
right? And
be a Heisman Trophy winner that you are there. So
what's your expectation for him? Do you have one?
I don't. I mean, I'm kind of just open-minded this year, for the whole thing. I mean, as far as just want to see progress. I don't expect them to come into and be, I don't know if he'll have a Justin Jefferson type of year,
right?
Just because he doesn't have that other wide receiver like Adam Thielen on the other side that respects, the defenses respect him as well, so that he's one-on-one type of thing. Devontae Smith is our guy, on the offense this year.
Right.
I mean, Quez Watkins hasn't, needs a lot more to prove. So at least, they may be able to lean a little bit more on his side for Smith and keep him down a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, plus your defense, is learning a new system. So you might have some um, inefficiencies there, or
Do
you might
you
have injuries.
do you think they've completely revamped their play calling, or are we going to see more of the same?
No, that's the one thing I do like about Sirianni. He, at least if he backs up what he talks, because he was saying if when we go into the meetings during the week, he's going to be making all the play calling.
Right.
He likes to do it a little bit differently and get it all. It's a collaboration though with everybody, but he does that before the week and has meetings and says these are the best plays for this type of thing, so that it streamlines it a little bit where he's the only one making the call at that particular moment,
Right.
because everybody's already made their input to it, so that should help make things a little faster. But he's also said if the coaching staff thinks that this is a good play and Jalen Hurts doesn't like the play, they're not going to run that play because he's not comfortable. So to put the quarterback in a bad situation, they're going to try to put him in a better situation himself, which
So
is
I don't know how I feel about that.
it's better than trying to jam a square peg into a round hole.
And I get that, but don't you think it would make him a better quarterback to put him out of his comfort zone, to make him more comfortable being that way? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I see your point a little bit, but I mean, you can always do that, and
I'm not saying every time. You know what I mean? Just
right.
every once in a while, it's like, well, I don't feel comfortable playing. You know what? Then we'll practice it, and then you'll try in a game.
Well, I think that's what they're going to do, is more in practice type of thing. But I think when in a game, you got to just be free. Keep your mind clear and all positive thoughts as far as, hey, I know that I know I can close my eyes and I could throw it a 10-yard out and the ball's going to be right there. Which we hope that that's the way it is. But but if he's like, I threw 3 interceptions this week on this in route, and
yeah,
he's thinking about that. You can't have that either.
True.
It's just one of those things you gotta, see how things go there. But I like that because you're putting your team in the best situation. You're not, and I think that's what he's doing, which I've been calling for since Peterson's been here. You're not putting that square peg into a round hole. You gotta, you got wide receivers that can go play tonight against this team. You're throwing the ball. If the running game's going to be working today, you're going to stick with the run, and you're going to run a lot more than you're passing the ball. I think that's a big factor, which will help the team grow as well. Which I kind of like with Sirianni so far, but like I said, we have to see how that plays out over 18 or 17 weeks. So.
All right. And so 1 o'clock game on Sunday?
Yes.
All right.
Down in Atlanta. So.
Oof.
So yeah, we'll see what happens, but let us know what everybody thinks out there, what they think for record wise. Which will be better, the offense or the defense? I think early, especially, the defense is going to be better there, Joe. I think.
You think the offense still has some work to do?
Well, yeah, just getting. I mean, it's hard, with the wide receivers going. I think the offensive line is going to help the offense, get going. That they'll be able to use the running game a little bit more, but we got to see how things go with Miles Sanders catching the ball a little bit more. Hopefully, he can do that and get away from the drops that he had. Because again, we don't want to get too predictable and have Kenneth Gainwell coming in and the defense knows it's going to be a passing play and versus a running game. And Miles Sanders has got to learn to pick up the blitz a little bit better too, to help with the passing game. So it's just a little things like that, and plus they haven't played much, the offense, in preseason. So it's Jalen Hurts has only had 10 snaps in game in action they had their scrimmages and stuff that they played during the week, but I don't know that that's the same game action speed.
Probably not.
That you're going to see, and it's not, and it's not even the same as preseason
Right.
speed.
Right.
Because that gets to be ramped up even more, especially week one, with everybody juiced up for opening day. That's why again it's going to be a tough road there when you have to go down to Atlanta to play in the dome there, and then you got to come home to play San Francisco, which is going to be a good team.
That's going to be a tough game too.
So like I said, it's and then
we got the Cowboys after that on Monday night.
Cowboys after that, then the Chiefs after that. So, like I said, you could easily go 0-4, and then you got to hope that you can beat the Carolina Panthers,
right?
And
Tampa Bay after them,
right? So like I said, you could have an easy 1-5, 1-6 start off the season,
right?
And so your record's not looking good. But like I said, as you go along, you might be able to have a 4 or 5 win season, and now you won 4 out of your last 11 games, and you see a little bit of improvement. So
and am I right? The last 4 games after the bye are conference games.
Yeah, well,
or division games. I mean,
divisional games. Yeah. They end up with a lot of the divisional games, and which also helps with the schedule. I think the last 7. Well, after the bye, they definitely don't get on a plane. But I don't even think the last 7 weeks. I think of the season, 7 or 8 weeks of the season.
No, because New York.
Yeah,
and then the bye, and then Washington Giants too. Washington, a week apart.
Right.
They've
been doing that in the NFL, which makes it challenging. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, as long as we're playing well, and then at the end of the year we can say Sirianni's the guy. He's got the ship righted, and we know he's not going to be the problem going forward. And then we see, hey, Jalen Hurts, he can play, he can make those throws. Then great. That's a win for me as a season.
Right
there alone. That'll be huge. We get get that going, and that way, if we have Jalen Hurts, you got three number 1 picks next year, which will be huge. That we can use to fill a lot of holes. Plus, you're going to have a lot of salary cap money to spend. So they'll be ready to restock real quick.
Okay, so whose contracts are up this week?
This year, you mean?
Or this year? Sorry, yeah.
Well, I don't know that there's a lot of contracts. I mean, I'm sure there are, but you're going to free up that $35 million for Carson Wentz that's on the cap right now.
Okay.
Dead money, and then there's at least one other. There's another dead cap money too for another player. I forget offhand.
Okay.
I think it's another 10 million or so. So I mean, you got almost $45-50 million right there alone, plus your other couple little.
That should help us.
Right, exactly. Plus, you have a nice draft class that you gain with the 3 first-round picks that you can do something with if you don't have to move up and get a quarterback, which would be awesome. If that's the way it ends up happening.
So here's a question for you: how many snaps do you think Flacco sees this year?
Hopefully for him, none, and for us, none.
That would be the perfect storm.
And I think. And I don't know. I think if I think he's just going to be a backup for during the game, like an in-game injury or that type of thing. I think if it would happen to be like a long-term thing or a couple of weeks that Jalen Hurts may miss, I think it's going to be more Gunnar Minshew is going to be the guy.
Okay.
And then Flacco still staying as the backup. For in-game type of things, and also to help mentor the quarterbacks throughout the game. So, that's I think that's the big thing. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I don't want to see Flacco have any because then that means we're having a good year.
Unless we're so far ahead, they want to rest Hurts, then they can put somebody in.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, that too. But at least a good year as far as Hurts isn't embarrassing the team, and that we need to get him out of the game. So
right.
So yeah, even like I said, it might be a game we're losing, but at least he's playing well, because you're going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks and you're in a shootout and you lose that game, or Kansas City Chiefs, you're in a shootout and you're losing that game,
right.
type of thing. There could be many of those games this year, and that's you're playing well, at least offensively, but your defense may hold you up, or just one or the other.
Yep.
Kind of like our Phillies.
Is that the segue?
That's our segue. We'll segue over to there. It's just kind of like our Phillies there. One day they're good. They're scoring 12 runs, and the next day they're shut out.
Losing by 10, right?
Right. I mean, it happens. That's baseball. It's a long season.
So you think they just wore themselves out Monday or Tuesday? Was it Tuesday?
No, I don't think that. We have
Monday.
Yeah, we have a hard time with certain types of pitchers, like lefties especially. Joe, I've been saying
I think that's the eternal question.
Yeah, I've been saying this for probably 2 years now. I think the year after his Cy Young, Nolan needs surgery. He needs Tommy John surgery.
You think that's what it is?
I truly do. He hasn't been the same since that time when they shut him down to heal up. He's been inconsistent ever since then.
Wow.
And he'll show flashes, and then he probably injures himself. Absolutely, Girardi will be back.
You think?
Yeah. So
there was a rumor that if they don't make the playoffs, he's gone.
Well, again, we mentioned that a little bit last year,
right.
But, or last week, I should say. It all depends on how they're thinking, if they're going to extend them, because you're not going to let them go into a lame duck year,
right.
Doing that.
Right.
So I think I would bring them back. Like I said, I really don't. I don't believe a lot of these calls are Girardi's, especially like the lineups and that kind of stuff. I don't believe is Girardi's picks that but he's.
You think it's the analyst team?
Well, it is, because you just look at it again today. They stack it up with all lefties in there, because Freddie Peralta's a righty, and lefties hit them better than the righties do. So you're taking them all out, and plus he's got his hands tied. I mean, what do you you're playing Travis Jankowski a lot. You're playing Ronald Torreyes has been awesome. But
he has been,
but he's not an everyday player on a true winning team.
Okay.
I think he's more, of a spot starter, a backup, and I mean, he's doing a hell of a job. Don't get me wrong, but you can't win all the time having all these backups in there. You're fighting with Luke Williams is in there when he was in there all the time, and it's just. So you got to have your veterans in there, or you're not even so much veterans, but just your stars.
I saw yesterday that JT was playing first. Why did they decide to do that? To have his bat in there?
JT playing first?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it?
I would much rather have him behind the plate.
Well, again, they're getting lefty in there, Marchand. Marchand to be able to get in there as catching. JT's been hurt. He's hurt all year, so I think that's part of the problem why he's struggling with the shoulder and stuff. So they're trying to keep his bat in the lineup as well. I think it was more yesterday's concern than having him behind the plate. He's a lot of shoulder surgery or injuries there right now with his shoulder, and he's had a tough year all year long, because it started right from spring training with Jose Alvarado breaking his hand.
Yep.
So I mean, you have hand issues to begin with, then you get your shoulder messed up. It's tough. I mean, Stephanie knows. I mean, she has an inside source I just pretend I have an inside source, but but it's we talk to a lot of people and we know, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot going on that and that's not just here in Philadelphia; it's everywhere. As far as the analytics running a lot of things between um, lineups, pitching changes. But
Oh, that's funny.
well, but at least you're there a little bit more, Stephanie. Even if you get to more games and you see them there in person, but and you can at least read his reaction when you talk to him.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't know. I mean, Joe, like you're saying, they're incomplete, but that's because they're hurt.
Right.
You got
and they've been hurt all year. It just rotates throughout the club.
Exactly. I mean, Hoskins being out right now, it hurts the lineup a lot. We struggle bad against left-handed pitching.
Right.
Whenever we ever go through that stretch when we're facing left-handed pitching, we struggle a lot. And, Hoskins, when he was hot, he would carry us through some of those stretches.
Miller's doing pretty good, though.
Well, but he's a lefty, so he doesn't hit the lefties as well. And McCutchen has been another one that's been hitting the ball well against left-handed pitching. So maybe he's a guy that we hopefully we can work something out with McCutchen and Brad Miller next year that they can platoon as a DH, righty lefty.
So you think that's coming?
Oh, I definitely think, because at the end of the year, the collective bargaining's over with this year, and pitchers are getting paid too much money to be out there on the running the bases and getting hurt and swinging the bats and getting obliques and that kind of stuff. And
I don't know, when I was in Little League and I pitched, I wanted to bat.
Well, Joe, if you're asking me, I'm taking for me as far as our outfield. I'm going big. I'm going big here. I'm getting Nick Castellanos.
You got Harper.
Well, Nick Castellanos is going to play left field. And Mitch Haniger, if I can make the trade with Seattle, getting him to play center field, then you're going to have Bryce Harper in right field. And then you're going to have Chris Taylor as another pickup as a free agent that's going to be able to move outfield, infield. And then have McCutchen and Brad Miller as our DH.
Okay.
And we're going big though. We're going over the luxury tax. I mean, we're going to be spending some money next year.
So here's my question. It's probably the most important question that we will ever ask on the show.
Well, of course.
When are you going to become GM?
Hopefully soon. But that'll never happen. I'm ready and willing whenever anybody wants to ask me. But yeah, because I think we. I
don't know if he had surgery today, or I know he's scheduled to have it.
He did. He's having surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 months for his right patella tendon surgery there on his knee. He'll be ready. Hopefully by the spring training opening day. But like I said, if we may be able to get away with not having to buy too much pitching in the off season. But I'd still like to go get one. I want to go get Robbie Ray.
So who would you have as your fifth starter?
Well, I want to go get Robbie Ray.
Okay.
As a free agent. If we're allowed to spend a lot of money, where we're getting all these other guys as well.
So you think Nola has Tommy John surgery over the break and then come back next year?
I'm not sure. It seems like he likes to keep it with and I don't know if he's against the surgery himself or if they can just keep saying that it's okay, and it'll heal over time. I don't know. But when you're throwing the ball as much as he is, and he needs to rely on his control,
right?
And that's one thing you lose when you don't have that ability with your arm. You lose the control, and he's not overpowering throwing
Right.
like 95 to 100-mile-an-hour pitches. So
And that's what Joe Stinger said earlier. He keeps missing the target.
right, and
that just makes perfect sense.
Right. But like I said, if you can go get, you have Zach Wheeler, you go get Robbie Ray as your second starter. You have Kyle Gibson to be your third starter since he's under control next year, and then you move Nola to a fourth starter, and then possibly to start the year, you might have Ranger Suarez to be the fifth starter, and giving Zach Eflin a little extra time to get healthy,
right?
Or have Eflin as your fifth starter and be able to move Ranger Suarez to the bullpen.
He's been doing fairly well last couple.
He has. He's been a starter most of his career, but I think he needs to work on a couple more pitches to be a full-time starter,
right?
To get him deeper into the games, and I think that's why he was more effective as a bullpen guy when he first came up, because he didn't need to have 3 pitches to get into deeper into the lineup.
Right.
He would only pitch that one or 2 innings. So if we can keep him active that way, and then I would just probably end up going and get maybe one true closer out there.
So who would you get for a closer? Because we obviously don't have one.
Well, Ian Kennedy's doing a pretty good job.
I don't think. I'm not saying he's not doing a good job.
But yeah, I would keep him. Keep him as a. I would keep him as a setup guy.
Okay.
Because I think him and Ranger Suarez being a right lefty setup guys would be great. You got the guy Graveman out in Houston now. He went from Seattle to Houston. He would be an option I would look at for a closer, or even I would even think about Trevor Rosenthal from the Athletics as a guy, and then possibly I believe it's Jose Iglesias from the Angels as another guy, one of those 3 guys, as your closer, that would be good spots, because then like I said, if you have like I said earlier with Ian Kennedy and Suarez as your setup guys, you'd have Connor Brogdon, Archie Bradley, Bailey Falter in the bullpen. You'd have
what's
Hector Neris.
What's Connor's contract?
Well, he's still this would be, I guess, probably his first year type of thing. So
because we just brought him up, right?
Yeah, from last year, because it wasn't quite a full year, so I'm not sure how that service time works with that.
Okay.
But he'll be like a year plus of service. So he's here for 5 years plus.
That's a good thing.
And then you got Alvarado still available. You got Coonrod that's out there. So yeah, he's still pre-arbitration. So he's got 4 or 5 years there at least. So yeah, I mean, the bullpen could be set up pretty well that you don't have to go too crazy with spending money on pitching. Get a guy here or there, but I think spend more of the money on the hitting. If you can get, he's up for free agency. Yeah, but I think he's comfortable here. I think Neris loves it here, and I think he will. I don't think he's going to get much more than what he's making now. So I think he'd still be affordable for us.
But do you think they keep him, or you think they let him go?
No, I think they would keep him, because I mean he's doing well in the role that he's doing now, Hector's a great guy. I definitely want him here. I know he gets
just not in the closing role.
Well, yeah, I mean as a closer, but even if you had to use him sparingly here and there as a closer in a pinch type of thing,
right?
He at least knows what he's doing. But I love the way he's going right now, just in the in the stress innings where it's a high leverage situation. that they're bringing him in, basically as a closer in the 7th inning or the 8th inning. So, yeah, I mean, he can definitely be a setup guy. But if you have Ian Kennedy and Ranger Suarez and Alvarado, you can use them as the setup guys in your situations, and use Hector Neris as the guy that just puts out fires, whether it's a 6th inning, 7th inning, between him and Connor Brogdon. I mean, it's like Brogdon does, he's had, a couple of games here or there that he's been hit, but other than that, he comes in and
he's usually lights out.
Yeah, they don't hit him.
Right.
So or hit them hard enough, in most cases. So they have some pitching depth there if they, get some offense here figured out. I think Bo may be a guy that we might put in a trade possibly.
Really?
I mean, I think possibly, depending on how you want to go with things. If you can get the right move for him.
Okay.
It just
what would you consider the right move? Well, if you had to move him, who would you move him for?
Well, you'd have to be getting probably, I don't know, like a good quality. I mean, a guy that is going to be a proven minor leaguer, but proven starter a year from now or two, if you had to. If you don't get a guy like I said, maybe put them in a Mitch Haniger deal,
okay,
type of thing. If you could, I would like to get a little bit more, out of it than Mitch Haniger, if we could. But you're kind of stuck with him, Hoskins, as far as yes, we do. We definitely, and that's that's where my other thing comes in, by getting Chris Bryant too. So.
So with Joe's question, do we even have anybody from the minor leagues to bring up?
Not that you're going to say is going to be a top flight guy right at the moment.
Right.
Mick Abel is a few years away. He's a freshman in college basically right now in our system. I'm waiting for him as well. Carl and I are so pissed that he hasn't gotten the call up yet. Derek Hall.
So what's it going to take for him to get the call?
That's what we're wondering. I mean, I don't know if it's more of an issue of the 40-man roster or not. If that's the problem, because he's not on the 40-man roster.
Okay.
So I think that may be an issue as far as getting somebody cleared. But I would have thought when Hoskins got moved to the 60-man or 60-day DL, team control as well.
I think that's more the issue right there.
But I mean, Derek's probably 25, 26 years old. So I mean, it's and I think too. I don't know how many more years he's under control in the farm system with the Phillies.
Okay.
So that's a problem as well. Derek's an awesome kid.
He's right-handed or left-handed?
Well, he's a left-handed bat.
So
with a lot of pop. So I mean, it's that's why they brought Matt Vierlin in, because he was a right-handed guy at the time. But I thought that would have been a perfect time to bring him up to be a left-handed bat. But then they I guess they figured Brad Miller would have been the first baseman with a left-handed bat at that time. So, it's tough. I mean, I feel for him, because we've gotten to know him pretty well. And Derek's a great kid. And, I think he just deserves that chance. He's been here, I think 5-6 years with the system.
Oh yeah. He's been here a while,
and he's put in his time. He's well deserved of it. He has pop, that's for sure. And, it's a shame that this is the year that you only have 28 guys in September as a call up instead of your 40-man September call up. That, he would have probably definitely, been up there, that you could have opened it up more for him. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options. Even if half of what I suggest happens, I would, That's a good question. I know they tried working him out in left field a little bit. There, he was telling me that he was going to be trying to work in the outfield as well to get his bat up here. So I know he has a pretty strong arm. So he may be able to play third base. So yeah, I would. I wouldn't mind whatever it takes to get him up here. I would. I know he would be willing to do it. It's just a matter of getting the shot, and he's just got to get on that 40-man roster as well.
Right.
So it's a little tough that way, but yeah, we'll see what happens. They're 2.5 out now after that tough loss yesterday. So.
And Atlanta won yesterday too, right?
They did, yeah. And so, like I said, they have a chance that the schedule's opening up for them. We got one more here in one more in Milwaukee tonight, and then we're home with the Colorado Rockies for 4. So our schedule's going to open up because we got I think it's the Rockies. We play the Pirates and then Baltimore. Is that our schedule? Home schedule.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
I know those are.
I have it here.
And then we go Washington, and then we play our Mets. But all our divisional games are on the road, which is going to be tough.
Brewers, Rockies, Cubs, and then
Cubs.
Mets.
Yeah. So the Cubs and the Mets are in, and then we get the
Orioles
the last season. Yeah, Orioles and Pirates, the last home stand.
Right.
Boys.
And we close out the year with the Marlins.
Yep.
Oh,
and there's three tough games in Atlanta as well. So that's.
But I don't know what it is with the Marlins. We just can't do well against them. I don't know why.
Well, it's baseball. Just like I mean, there's no reason for us to be dominating the Milwaukee Brewers the way we do over the past few years. I mean, we're 5-1 against them. So far, we're 6-1 against them. I think it's 5-1 because we 4-game series we swept them up here, and we're 1-1 down there. So. I mean, it's just one of those things in baseball. It's just weird how things work out. Divisional games, it always happens that way. It's just one of those things. It's a long season. Some teams just have another team's number. I don't know why. Kind of like we had the Mets number back in 2007 and 2008 to push us into the divisional. Wins at that time.
Right.
The Mets thought they were a better team at that time than we were, but we ended up pulling them out at the end of the year. So, it's just one of those things that are interesting with baseball.
True.
Talking about interesting things, how about those Sixers? How about those Sixers? Ben Simmons is putting his foot in his mouth again today. Saying that it's not up to him to make him look more attractive in a trade.
So here, actually, if I was a ball player, I would try to make myself as marketable as possible. So how does he feel that it's not his responsibility to make himself look tradable?
Well, he's got that $200 million contract in his back pocket. That kind of helps things out a little bit. So he doesn't. It's that helps a lot of things on his perspective. Not that it helps. It just shows that he was the wrong type of person to be given that contract. He's too worried about that Hollywood life out there in California, and
that's what it seems like. Doesn't seem like he wants to play.
Right. He made his money, so he thinks he's set for life, and which he is obviously financially. But you would think your pride or your ego would want you to do a little bit better.
Actually, I think his ego's getting in the way.
Well, his ego, as far as that he thinks he's better, but I'm saying, but you would think he would want to have that ego stroked a little bit more and and have those accolades that he is a defensive player of the year, and not assume that he is the defensive player of the year, and have a NBA championship title or two under his belt, and not just play a week or two before the All-Star voting is done, and so you win an All-Star ballot, All-Star game.
Wow, there's somebody we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's getting ready for.
She came in for fantasy football.
She did exactly. It's football season. She's back. Yeah, yeah. She's trying to get the title away from me, but it's not happening again. But
did she put her picks in yet?
She already has her picks in.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yep. Like I said, we have 65 strong going. So
damn,
it's pretty good. It's fun. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of late nights tallying things. So if your scores don't come up exactly right, you'll know why. But no, it'll be all fine. But
yeah, they're playing me. They have nothing to worry about.
But
playing it down a little bit, John.
Yeah. Of course, we make it that way. But yeah, I do all the bragging, so it's okay.
Right, you brag enough for the five of us.
Right, exactly. So, that's what we're a good team. I do the bragging, and then everybody else makes the picks. But
oh my God, I don't think Jason's working for that company anymore.
No,
no, it felt too much like work for him. It was no longer a hobby. Okay. It was no longer fun. So I think he decided to bail on it.
No, okay.
I know. Sucks, but
yeah.
Good while it lasted.
So we lost your insider?
No. He would you've seen our relationship. There's no way he would help me.
Yeah.
He would help me lose.
Yeah. So you're saying that 4-letter word there, Belinda, has gotten away from work? That's what's kept you away from us?
Yeah. Yeah, they run her ragged.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
yep. So
so all right. What do we got? We got 7 minutes left.
Yep.
Did you want to talk about Dagwoods?
Yeah, well, we got next week. We got September the 15th. We're at Dagwoods with Nikki Morandini. So come on out for that. We're still going to have our prizes. Our raffles are going to be out there. City Vodka is going to be out there helping us again.
Nice.
You got State Farm with Phil Young, and Dave Denenberg is going to be Aberson and Denenberg is going to be there, helping us as sponsors.
Nice.
So it's all good there. It'll be another good night out there. Great food as always, and then we're going to be at our new spot in 2 weeks from now, in Hanrahan's Irish Pub.
It's Irish, John. You should be able to pronounce that.
I know, exactly. I'm getting a little tired here today.
Well, you worked all day. You shouldn't be tired.
The words start mumbling. We'll get the Irish Pub there with Greg Gross for our first one of 4 shows this year at Hanrahan's. So just got the TVs and all hooked up, so we're good to go there.
Nice.
I just got to work at Blenda, right in Drexel Hill at the Waverly movie theater.
Yep, they're back in Delco.
We're back in Delco, is right. And so I just got to get the sound hooked up. There's still a little glitch there with their sound that we have to figure out over there. At some point of the next 2 weeks here, I'll get that figured out. And
if you need help, John, let me know.
Just a matter of with the sound. We'll talk about that. But right. And then they're great out there. The food is awesome there. They got a nice big bar area there.
The dude's close to everybody.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Yep, everybody's been clamoring to get back out to Delco for a show, so we'll be there. Hopefully, we'll have a special guest. Hopefully, with us there as well in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
um,
Knock on wood.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be awesome. It'll be a great night there, yeah, it should be fun. Next couple of weeks,
Cool.
And and then we got fantasy football going, so that's going to keep us going for the next 18 weeks. We got Carl's Cards and Collectibles donated the Jason Kelsey jersey that you're going to be able to win for that the winner of the season, whoever gets the most points. So that's going to be awesome to do that and be able.
That's a nice prize too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Exactly.
So find my way in on that one.
There you go. There you go. So we have Mario's going to go first for us host. I'll be second. Lauren and Anthony will go third, and then we're going to have Carl go on fourth to make sure all the medicine's cleared out of his brain. So he can,
the medicine might help him out a little bit.
and we had to plan that around Lauren and Anthony's wedding coming up in a few weeks there for their honeymoon. So they're back for their second. Yep, October 2nd. Yep.
Wow.
So it's
that's coming quick.
So that way they'll be back from their honeymoon when they get to pick round 2 for their games. Little inside. Anthony is really the one that picks it. We just put Lauren's name on there. But
I thought it was the other way around.
No, Anthony told me it was all him. So I just that was the information.
I don't know who to believe on that one.
I don't know. He's pretty honest, I think. So
okay.
I'm sticking with Anthony. Us guys got to stick together.
There you go.
So
although the women do kick ass in this contest,
they do. They do. We
two of them I know are watching right now.
Yep. Carolyn's got her son in it as well. So that's another extra vote we got.
There you go.
So that's going to be a mother and son duel going into this competition.
Oh, I'm sure they're battling it out.
So that's going to be interesting to see unfold all year long as well. Yeah, like I said, get your votes in. You still have time. We usually go till. That's why I said it, Sue. She's not watching, so it's okay. Unless you sneak and tell her on me that she.
Well, I'm sure she'll find out.
So you have until normally we say 8:00, but by the time I get out of here and get home and tally up the last votes, you have a little bit of time. So and I always try to give everybody reminders for their that they make their votes because life is busy. We understand. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying, but we don't want you to miss out as well.
Who are you kidding? You like being annoying.
Oh, that's my middle name, but that's okay. So
all right.
What do you have for takeaway there, Mario?
Not much really. I got to spend the weekend with my family. They all came down. It was fun.
It's all good. Look good. Look at it.
Yeah, good to see them. I just thought it was funny that Wednesday I took everybody out to dinner, and everybody had everything picked until I decided I was going to pay for dinner. Then they all decided they were getting lobster.
Well,
so
that sounds,
of course,
about right.
I didn't mind though. It was good to see them. So we had a good time. The kids had a ball, and on that I will say, get better, Carl. We miss you on the show.
Absolutely.
So we're pulling for you.
Yeah.
What do you got, John?
Me, I'm just going to say congratulations to Derek Jeter and Larry Walker today. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame since they missed out on their last year's induction due to the COVID issues. Much deserved for both of them. Larry Walker is an under the radar kind of guy. He was one guy I always feared when the Phillies were playing Colorado back then, and St. Louis once he got moved over there. He was a ball player, and he was definitely fun to watch. Always gave it his best, and and then there's nothing more you can say about Derek Jeter as well. Both a man that did everything the right way on the field, total class act. Again, congratulations to both of them, and until then, we will see everybody
next week. All right,
Dagwoods, new location here. We won't be here at the store, and so come out and visit. There'll be always a great time. It keeps growing each time we're out there. So make sure you get there a little early so you can get a spot.
Yeah.
To sit and around at the bar or at a table, and we'll enjoy.
All right.
Until next week, we'll see you.
Hey guys.
Thanks.